Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the WBBL review. Here with your hosts, Mark and Melita. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good, thanks.
You busy week?
Not really, actually. Not for me anyway, since I'm not playing. So it's nice to be able to spectate and not feel too tired really after like everyone else is.
Are you an extra coach from the sideline now? Then are you ordering people about and stuff?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can probably hear me in the footage, just screaming at everyone.
I mean, I don't really know where to start with this week because I mean, there's been absolutely loads going on. There's been matches galore. The semi-finals are now announced. London had that incredible performance in Europe. We've got debates raging on Twitter about media coverage and streaming. So I don't really know where to start, but I think we might go just a little recap from the matches last week.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, we can start with Gloucester because as of tonight, they have their first official competitive win.
yeah. I
How
mean,
was that?
it's been tough, I guess, being a new franchise. No one knew what to expect from us, but I do think after the first game when we only played 5 players, I think it became apparent to everyone that maybe we're a beatable team and we might struggle a little bit this season. Just speaking to a few players, but and just people in general. But yeah, today's win. I mean, we should have won by a lot more. We kind of just let them creep back into the game, and it became a 1 point game with 7 seconds left. Like a double timeout was called. So for me, my heart was literally just thrumping on the bench, and it was so hard because I can't do anything but just cheer the girls on. So yeah, it was a good win, and I'm happy for the girls because now I feel like they're finally at ease, and I think from now on they have more confidence in themselves, and yeah, we'll see what happens in the future.
Because that Cardiff game earlier on in the weekend, that was a close game as well.
Yeah, and that was the first game, most official game, I guess. We played Reading Rockets, which I played in as well for a friendly, but they are in a lower division, so it's kind of hard to go from that game to an official WBBL game. So I think it was more just nerves and controlling the game that the girls were lacking. But I think we're calm and collective now.
What do you think kind of clubs feel about the cup being at the start? So this that kind of the 2 or 3 games that people play in the cup. Is it more of a pre-season feel about it, or is it? I'm not sure. Like for obviously for yourselves or different clubs, what do you feel?
I think for players, it's like the worst possible thing. Playing 3 games or 4 games in the space of a couple of days is so tiring, and it's mentally hard because it's the first couple of games that people have played in months. So I think for players, you always want to win, you always want to do good. So it's not likable, I guess. But from the coach's perspective and me being on the sideline, I think it's great because, yeah, I mean, if you don't get into the semi-finals and finals of the cup, it sucks, but it's a learning experience as well. These games don't really matter because it's not a league game, so you can use that time to act like it's a preseason game, learn about your teammates, learn with the coaches, and then figure yourselves out before the actual season starts.
I know we talked about Leicester in that first week with the kind of wholesale changes from coach to players. And they are in the semi-finals from your group. What did you
Yep.
make of them?
Am I allowed to be brutally honest?
I think that's why
No,
you're
you know
here.
I'm always am. So for me, I expected a lot better from Leicester. I do think they're not going to be one of the top 3 teams in the league. Um, I think they did good for the starting games in the cup. Bearing in mind, I think our group was fairly easy compared to other groups. But Yeah, I don't know what to make too much of them. They can shock me and just come out and blow everyone, but I just don't think that they have it in them. I think the coach as well, he's very enthusiastic. I don't know if anyone else caught that on camera, but I guess for the players, it must be nice to have a coach that's more energetic than you are. However, I'd love to see them in a close game. Their point guard is decent. I do like her as well, and they've got a legit big as well. But yeah, close game. I'm kind of curious to see how they're gonna react because I think they'll have too much energy. Well, from the coach's perspective. So yeah, I'm just more intrigued by them. But yeah, I think they're around the mid table team.
Let's move on to the group from the north. So we had Durham, Caledonia, and Newcastle, and it was Newcastle that progressed to the semi-final, and they'll be playing Leicester in that semi-final. Did you catch any of those games? I mean, I was at all three of the games this weekend. Lucky me. Did you catch anything from those ones?
No, I didn't get to because I was always with my team, but I definitely did keep track of the scores. Newcastle, I think they're going to be tough this season, especially coming from a season where they didn't necessarily have the best players in the league. But I guess when you're playing your home court towards the end of the season and in the semi-finals, you're bound to do good. So they're definitely coming back and trying to get back into the finals, and I think they could possibly do it.
So yeah, I told you last week they're going to be up there.
You did. I didn't have faith in them, but I think now I do.
I think the main difference in Newcastle this year is the depth of the squad. They've got five players to come in that they can play plenty of minutes and make a
Yeah.
difference to the team. Whereas last season we maybe had 7 or 8. Like those, I
I
think.
feel sorry for Chris because that's hard for a coach where you've got to work on balancing minutes with such a deep team. So,
It's
but
a different challenge.
something to complain about, especially compared to my team in Gloucester. Literally opposite problem.
And Newcastle had a potential season-ending injury as well on the Saturday. It was against Caledonia. Courtney Klassen went down. So that's again another sad incident that happened.
Yeah, it's always hard, especially as I'm now always injured as well. Seeing another player go down. Yeah, so pray for her. Hopefully she's not too bad and can have a speedy recovery. But could you, I guess because you was at the games, could you fill everyone in on her role for the team?
I mean, they kind of, she hadn't played that many minutes, to be honest, in the kind of game to that point. And I guess from early on, it's just try new things out, isn't it? Brand new squad. I think there's 4 players returning from last year. And it's trying new things and working out where you fit into the team. And I know Chris mentioned from the sidelines, contains very defensively minded and things like that. So there was 3 really one-sided games, if truth be told.
Yeah.
Durham kind of blew away Caledonia in the first one, and then
Which we both got wrong.
I know, but Durham didn't have any players until Friday or something, did they? So
Yeah, I think that's a bit unfair, to be honest, for us anyway, because we had no idea.
we just went with Caledonia because they had a few players. Do you know, it's tough for Caledonia. I mean, we talked back in February last year. Caledonia had lost about 3 or 4 games by 40 points plus, and we talked about that, and we talked about kind of what that mentality is like to come back week on week, even though you're losing that heavily. But their squad, even from the bench, that kind of the support of each other and kind of the noise that we're making and stuff, it was really positive to see, even though the results weren't going their way.
Yeah, they're a pretty young team as well. So I think the fact that they're having this experience in the league is great. And I do think for them, I'm hoping anyway that they kind of view this as this is just all lessons. And if we play our own age group, wherever we decide to go in the future, they can take everything that they've learned from the WBBL into that. So I think it's always great to have young players play in this league, but I'm tough. So I do have to say it's from a team's perception and a league's perspective. I think that's what kind of lowers the league when we have such young teams, because like I said, like the standard kind of drops. So it would be nice if in the future Caledonia can maybe get some imports or some older English players, just so that the girls also have the experience with learning from vets. Because I think for me, and in the career that I've had so far, I've learned a lot of lessons just from practicing against a vet who is clued up and experienced. So I think that's the only negative, I guess, from having such a young team.
I think I saw something about 4 under-16s, I think, played on the Friday night. Yeah, as I say, it's positive in some ways. Hopefully they can build on it and
yeah, because Oakland is very similar this year now, because they're concentrating more on the academy girls, but they still have, is it 4 or 5 returners from the previous season who can help out those young players as well and make the games close like they did today against Leicester.
Well, let's move on. So that's Newcastle Leicester in one semi-final. The other semi-final, Sheffield Hatters back with a bang.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I expected it. I 100% expected it. Do you think Vanessa's really going to come back and not create a bang? I actually think Sheffield is one to fear.
I mean, they beat Manchester by 47, beat Nottingham by 41. I mean, they're big wins.
Yeah, and they just added another player on top of that as well.
Just saw that, yeah.
Yeah, so Georgia did really, really well. So
want to watch, definitely.
Yeah. We've seen the easy games. Now I want to see them against other great teams in this league, so we can make more of a judgment as well.
And yeah, Nottingham lost the other match as well, so they maybe don't look as strong as they did last season with Chelsea Shumpert and Jasmine Joyner. Possibly, it's very early days, and look at us being very judgy. But
I know all these teams are going to watch this and be like, she does not know what she's talking about. But I am one to hold my hand up, and definitely if the team improves, I will probably say, I'm sorry, you guys proved me wrong. So, but right now we can only go on what we're seeing right now.
Speaking of getting things wrong, London beat Sevenoaks, and we both said that Sevenoaks might take that one.
Did you get to watch the game? Because I didn't. My team was playing.
No, I was out at one of the Newcastle games, I think, at that time. I saw the last little bit, I think, but it was a tight finish. Because Sevenoaks looked like they were gonna just pip it, but then Cassie Breen coming up clutch.
Yeah, I think this is one reason why I don't like the cups, because everything is happening at the same time. So it's hard for us to try to keep up, because I definitely would like to give more of my opinion on the game, but because I didn't watch it, I can't say too much. But I am very disappointed at the fact that it wasn't promoted pretty much at all. Last season, Sevenoaks beat London Lions twice. So this pretty much is one of the best games that we're going to get in the whole season. So I think the fact that from the Lions point of view, even the WBBL, it definitely should have been promoted a lot more. And yeah, it's kind of sad, because it's probably one of the highest level of basketball we're going to get.
Yeah, I think there were so many good matches throughout the weekend, and kind of obviously we're seeing these teams again. But obviously on Twitter, on social media, no one was really talking about the basketball. We were talking about the lack of coverage, the lack of streams, the lack of commentary on streams.
Yeah.
Some streams not working. It's it's a shame, isn't it, that that's what kind of took over from the actual basketball.
Yeah, exactly. But you can't blame people, especially spectators who or family, friends, anyone watching, trying to really enjoy the game, and you're just watching people run up and down and they look like little dots. You can't tell who's who. So I think it's definitely down to the teams to hold themselves and each other accountable for these situations, because whether it's a uni student or someone that's playing D1 or something like that, to try and commentate. I know commentary is very hard to do because I've done it before and I've messed up on tens of thousands of names. So I know it's hard, but it's still better than nothing. It's hard to just watch something in silence or not be able to see anything. So that's definitely one thing. It needs to improve. If this league wants to be a professional league, it has to improve.
Yeah, it's hard to know what kind of, because it all costs money, doesn't it? And it all kind of, it's hard at the minute, especially coming out of a pandemic. Teams, let's say like Sheffield, had to miss out on last season.
Yeah,
They're coming back in. I guess it's hard to know what to do for the best.
Yeah, it is. Money is always a big thing, but I do think there's ways around it.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you don't ask, you won't get. I think there could be a lot more maybe bidding involved, because I know that's what Sheffield's done to come back into the league. Whether it's asking local companies, hey, do you mind sponsoring us? I don't know whether it's a grand or sponsor our commentary or whatever it is, and we'll put your logo on the t-shirt. I just do think more can be done, because when you look at the BBL side as well, I'm not sure how all this all works, whether it's the BBL just has more money so they can fund more things, or is it an equal thing? Because right now it doesn't seem like it's equal, but I know some people are saying no, it's supposed to be equal. So it would be nice to try to get someone on here who actually knows what's going on and can at least give all the spectators and fans an explanation, because it's all good us talking about it and you don't know anything. So yeah, I think that would be nice if someone can give us an explanation.
So if that's you, hit us up. Okay, get in touch. I know we've got a few things in the pipeline to try and kind of delve a little bit deeper into the issues some clubs are having, or because I know, again, let's take London as an example. They feel like we're picking on London, but I think we expected so much from them, because obviously they're heading into Europe on this amazing journey, and we kind of want to be a part of that, and we're not really getting that opportunity at the moment. There's the odd post here and there, and there's the odd video here and there, which is, it's better than it was 2 weeks ago. But again, no live stats for the games this week. Stats still aren't up on the pages now. No, kind of, as you mentioned, the Sevenoaks game. That's a massive game to start off the season, and obviously Sevenoaks, the history behind them of winning loads of matches, loads of cups. London, the new kind of up and comers, trying to challenge their crown, and there's so many different ways you could market that match. And there was, I mean, very little. I think people had to search quite hard to find even the stream. It's just, as you say, it's such a huge shame.
Yeah, it's so disappointing, and I almost feel bad for the women playing in the games, because it kind of seems like your own club doesn't have your back. And you look at the men's side, who are not doing as good as they are, and they're still getting more. For example, why can't we have the people who do the videos for their games, those little clips and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Why not have it just for that game? And then it kind of goes down to, why was it even at Crystal Palace? Why wasn't it at the Copper Box? Was there double booking? But would that ever happen for the men's side? No, it would never in a million years happen. I actually saw a photo. I don't know if you've seen it or anyone else has seen it, but Mark Clark, the head coach, was checking the floor, or whether he was taping it or what. But that shouldn't happen either. Like, would you see Vince on the floor checking the court lines? No, you wouldn't see that.
But with his sharp suits, I don't think so.
Yeah, I would never. So yeah, I think it's little things like that as well. I'm pretty sure you can find a couple of videographers who would have just videoed the whole day, like literally as soon as they got to the court, maybe them coming off the bus or however they got there, what the locker room looked like as well. Like, because it's such a big game. It's the biggest game this league has ever been a part of. So the fact that it's not documented, it's sad.
I mean, let's talk about that game a little bit. Let's move on to something a bit more positive.
More positive.
Let's get positive vibes because, I mean, what a performance that was.
Yeah, I had practice, so I saw it from the mid first quarter, and my mouth was literally jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it. I could not. I think the players, everyone did really well. But it's kind of hard to say though what the team is looking like because the other team was poor.
Poor.
Like, I don't know how else to put it. It was shocking, but I'm happy because at least it should be an easy way to the Euro Cup.
Don't say that now.
I know it's still a long way to go, but do you think they can kind of make a comeback and beat them by 30 odd?
30 points is a big margin. I mean, that is a big margin in basketball, even across a full game. Yeah. So I think I saw an article today. The headline was something like Azania won't let us get complacent, and I think that's probably the only thing they need to guard against, thinking the job's done. But again, there's people in that squad with experience. Obviously, Mark Clark's highly experienced. He knows what to do. He knows how to get them ready to not be complacent. So I'm not worried.
Yeah, exactly. And just knowing the girls as well, I know they probably even want to make a higher statement, maybe beat them more than what they beat them the last time. But I did find out that Gran Canaria lost one of their players because she went to the Euro Cup. I mean, not the Afro Cup.
Okay.
Excuse me. So it's going to be interesting to see what their team is like with that player. I'm not sure what her name is. Also, everyone knows, well, all the Londoners know, Crystal Palace, the court is not one to be happy to play on. So I'm wondering if the jet lag and then coming to find you're playing on this court, and I'm just wondering if they just hadn't figured things out yet and if they're just going to come back with a bang. Hope not.
That's tomorrow. That's tonight when this goes out. That's tonight at 7:00, I think it is. And we'll put the link to the stream on one of our social media so you can watch it and hopefully watch London get into like the regular season of the Euro Cup. That'll be amazing.
Yeah.
So let's move on. The announcement today came the team of the week. Looking at kind of the cup games that have been so far, and the team of the week was Georgia Jones, Cara Elderkin, Georgia Gale, Helen Naylor, and Ebony Horton. So what did you make of that team of the week?
Yeah, I always wonder how they actually pick it from 1 to 5 because I always disagree with the rankings. However, I do think all of those players did amazingly throughout the cup games, and I think they're definitely ones to watch out for the season.
Yeah, I mean, the only one that there was a question mark about, I know I put a tweet on, and was Kennedy Leonard, because obviously I think I worked it out. Her index score was kind of up, I think one of the second or something across the week in that game against Sevenoaks. Mm-hmm. But I don't know whether the stats not working has gone against her, maybe.
Yeah, that could be it actually. And if anyone from the WBBL, if even you know, Mark, how people are selected, that'd be great to know.
is it like the efficiency rating at the end, and the
Is it
stats
that?
page? I
Yeah.
think it's just the top
It's,
five, of that
oh,
of the winning
okay.
teams. I think you've got to win your match.
Oh, that's a bit unfair.
Well, there was a big debate last year. I know the BBL show have talked about this as well quite a lot, but there was can an MVP or can a player of the week come from a losing side? What's your standpoint on that?
Yeah, like if the game is really close, like the Seven Oaks in London game, and someone, let's say from Seven Oaks, scored 50 points or something, like a break in records in any of the in assists or rebounds, they definitely should be on there, right? So I think, but then it becomes an opinion. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough because, for example, Cassie Bream, she brought London back into the game to win the game against Seven Oaks.
Yeah.
So if it's an opinion based, I would have her on there over Kennedy just because it's such a clutch moment.
So that
It's like
moment
Ray
kind of
Allen.
matters more potentially than 2 points at the
Yeah,
start of the game or 3 points at the start of the game.
exactly.
Interesting.
It's like Ray Allen hitting the 3-pointer when they was down 3-1 in the series. That's like historic. You're
Mm-hmm.
not going to remember he was on his team, LeBron doing whatever he did. So it's it's tough though. It's tough. I do think efficiency maybe is the best way, if it is that way.
Yeah, if it is. If anyone wants to confirm that, go for it. Looking forward to next weekend. We've made our predictions for this week.
Hopefully, no one bash us too.
Oh,
Hi, or Kennedy, if you're watching this.
it's all right. We'll both put London down to win. It's fine.
Yeah. We'll do that from now on.
But yeah, I think we're pretty. I've already lost out this week because I said that Oakland would beat your Gloucester City Queens, and I'm back down now.
Yep, see, I told you.
I think we agree on a lot of the other ones. Who've Gloucester got this weekend? Cardiff again. Oh, chance for revenge.
Yeah, I think now we know how to play them, and everyone's nerves are out. It's gonna be a win. It has to be a dub because Cardiff have literally nothing else to give, like nothing. So
There you go.
let me stop talking. We gotta walk the walk now.
You can say that because you're not playing now. You're like, right, over to you. I know for me, next weekend I'm going down to Sheffield. Fuel dependent, if I can make sure I've got enough petrol,
Yeah.
And then coming back up to the Newcastle Oaklands game as well. So I've got a full day potentially of Sheffield Durham. I can't see anything other than a Sheffield win, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
It's same with Newcastle Oaklands. Kind of, it looks like a one-sided game, dare I say it, again for that one. But no, looking forward to this weekend again. For Eva's play of the week this week, me and Eva have had a few technical difficulties recording her a little bit. However, we put a tweet out earlier this week with I think we had 5 nominees, and it went a bit mad, to be honest. There was loads of people commenting, commenting on Instagram and things like that. So that was exciting, and it was pretty much a 2-horse race for the win. And Kennedy Leonard was up there. However, she did not win. Sorry,
Do we
Kyle.
need like a drum roll? I feel a drum roll coming on now.
So the winner this week was Georgia Gale.
Woo!
Georgia
As
Gale.
I expected, I definitely agree with her.
So Eva's got a badge ready, and we're going down to Sheffield on Saturday, so she'll be able to hand deliver the very first one of the season. So that's exciting. She'll get really shy. It'll be quite funny.
You've got to record it as well. You have to record it.
Oh, I definitely will.
Well, good job, Georgia.
Yeah, brilliant start to the season. As I said, we'll kind of dive more into media coverage and streamings. We'll try and get a few guests on that can kind of add a little bit to our discussions. because it is such an important thing for the league, I guess.
Yeah, definitely is.
But yeah, I think that's us. I think that's us for today.
Yeah, and I guess if anyone, like, I loved the fact that so many people reached out to us as well, just to say what they think we should cover. And yeah, so keep doing that. If anyone has any comments or opinions that we can also add on to the show, let us know.
Absolutely. Make sure you follow us on all of the social medias, and subscribe, get in touch, as Melita says, get in touch and let us know what you want us to talk about. And have a really good week.